Hello, my name's Andy and welcome to the garage. This is my next restoration. Isn't she a beauty? The Ferrari 1965 250 Le Mans by Burago 1/24 scale. Obviously worse for wear in white. Now this car won the 1965 Le Mans race. Only about 30 were built, I think. They now swap hands for in excess of £10 million, I think, when I last looked. So a very expensive car. Now I think Burago must have had a few copyright issues or licensing issues with this, because it's not red. I think it should have had the race number 21. So my aim is to put it back to 1965 in that Le Mans winning livery. So I hope you're going to like this video. Now let's just wait for it to come round again and then we can get on with it. Let's go. Well, isn't that a beauty? What a great looking car that is. Let's take a measure to it. It's approximately 16 centimeters long, just over 7 wide. It's got a lift up rear to reveal a highly detailed engine, all chromed, which of course it wouldn't have been. It's got the spare, both doors. We've lost our steering wheel in there. That's unfortunate. We've even got pedals. We'll see those soon. And the front lifts up to reveal a small boot, battery compartment, whatever. Now let's have a look underneath. 1, 2, 3 screws. This exhaust bent up. That's going to be okay. So what I'll do is I'll get a screwdriver and we can get this Ferrari apart. Okay, we've found a suitable screwdriver. All the same size, that's good. That lifts off the base, seats, nice gear stick selection there, look. That's all plastic, got to be careful with that. Put that up there at the back, see what we've got here. If we open the doors, never taken one of these apart. There we go with the interior. We've got dials. Is that the handbrake? Could be. Never sat in one, wouldn't know. Yet to do my research. 2 pedals. Have we got a pedal missing? Some more dials there. All chromed. Just can put that there. This rear assembly doesn't want to move yet. See if the glass will come out. Yep. There's our glass in good condition as I anticipated. Now we've got a glass surround here. Chrome. It's all good. That's not hinged. That's like we've seen that before, where it's sort of clamped over like that. And these doors, they don't want to come off either. We've got some nice door cards there. So let's see if we can see anything about this rear engine compartment. I think it's just pushed in. Let's have a look on top. It's pushed in, it's got to go down first. Obviously no spare parts for this at all. I think that will clip. Just take a look off camera, because you don't want to see me working things out for 10 minutes, do you? Right, had a close look at this. This is all one piece, I'm pretty sure. Looks, it's in bits, but I think it'll come out in one. With a bit of wiggling. You can see it's moving there. It's clicked up. It's unclipped. Back. Jeez. Now, this hood's, this rear bonnet is clipped in like that as well. I might have to take that off first. And then lift that out as one unit. So I can't see me, I can't pull it back any further because the wheels are hitting the rear arches. It seems to be held in around the wheels. The wheels don't want to move. Right, I'll try and show you it. Right, you can't see it, maybe. This is the axle of the wheel. It's in like that, in like a pincer. So that's got to come back. Now you may be wondering why I haven't taken the tyres off to do that, because that'd help, wouldn't it? Can't see how to get the tyres off at the moment. I don't know if they'll just pull off. The tyres have got to come off without bending the wheels. Hold one down, do that. There we go. Look, pressing the wheel in with my thumb. That's one off. I haven't looked to see if anybody else has taken one of these apart. I didn't think they would have done, to be honest. There's Burago I've done, I've considered them before. Right. 2 rear tyres. Now, let's see if we can push this whole rear assembly backwards. These have to be up. Wheels, I think the wheels are free. Yeah, they are. So, jiggling upwards. Right, you can bend the wheels back slightly. I don't know if you can see this, maybe from that side. Pull it back and up. So don't want to take this tailgate off. Can't see it coming out without, to be honest. Woo! So what we're off to have to do is get grinder on there. What we're going to have to do, because this is going to be the devil's own job to get back in. So I will get a sharp pointy grinder out. I'm only on number 1. Well, that is going to take some time, so I won't film that. I'll just start the video again when I'm close to finishing it off. Right, I've swapped to this tool, and you can see it's taken the sharp end off that. Let's see if any closer. There's a bit more to go. There's a bit more to go. Right, let's have another go. I wish I hadn't pulled this out now, because I could have got a bit more leverage on it maybe. Oh, let's push that back a bit. It's all good fun for when we're putting it back together. Now I have to take them almost all the way off, which is unfortunate, very unfortunate. What I'm doing is just getting in like that, trying not to grind the axle hinge there. But I'm going to have to take the fronts off, I think. Right, we might be there. Don't want to flex it too much. No, we're not there yet. Testing this one, testing. Well, there's our Ferrari with a Corgi bus, and in blue we have an Alfa Romeo by Dinky. And we'll just leave that a few minutes and see what happens there. Okay, I'm hand filming this, and our Ferrari's ready to come out. It's had a bit of a brush while it was in there, but it's looking a-okay. What I tend to do is, there's a little microbus that was in with it. Well, the boot of the Ferrari's in there. There we go. Well, sorry about the loss of sound there. I've got two microphones. I'll just turn the camera up so you can have a look at them. There they are. And I've got little green lights on them. And the lights went out and I never spotted it. And so I never got any sound, but I was able to record and never got any notification on the camera. Anyway, let's move on. In between that time, I've just given this a light polish with one of these little brushes. That could have been the one actually, just to see how it came up. And obviously it's a relatively new model. It can't be more than 25-30 years old most. It's come up okay. There's a few marks that I need to work on. Same with the rear. Just stick that in so you get an effect. Unless I clip it in again. There we go. That's okay. Now we've got the base. We've got that engine suspension unit I pulled out. Now what's disappointing about this Burago is these axles aren't metal, they're plastic. That's how I was able to move them like that. That is a bit disappointing in such a huge model, and that's a fair bit of weight there, by the way. Anyway, let's take a look. I've done a bit of researching. This needs to be black, sort of a off-colour, same colour as the interior. The engine's the wrong colour. These straps should be brown, so all this basically, what that means, needs to come off. So I think just start doing that one. It's all clicked together. I've watched a few people doing Buragos and they break so easily. Obviously you can super glue it back together. This one seems to be stuck around here. It's at tops of the wheels. Don't know if you can see that, just there. Just there. The wheels are on like a little clip. So if we want to take that off, we've got to take the tyres off. And the best way to do that, I found, is back to where I was before. No pressure on the wheel at all. Just pull your tyre off, whichever way you want to view it. Quite a warm day, 21 degrees in the garage, so now you can see those little lugs that hold in this assembly onto the bottom. And I just ease them up. Is that going to happen? It's a concern about breaking it that's the big issue. That one's on. And it's off. And that'll make painting easier. Now I'm not going to take those off. I mean, look at the thinness. That bit of plastic there on the suspension. I can leave the black base as it is. That's not going to be an issue. The wheels are wrong for the Le Mans car, the winner. These should have been wire wheels. Got to live with that. Can't get it as accurate as possible, but we've got to live with that because I ain't taking these off and I've got nothing to replace them. If you take those off, you can see though it's like they've got discs inside them. That's what it looks like. Obviously it isn't. And I'm not even going to have to try it because if you pull one up, you're bound to snap that. So that's as far as that's getting. Now, this steering wheel should have like wood effect there. These seats should be black. You can see the seats are sort of clipped on at the back. I tell you, they won't want to move. And you begin to appreciate your simpler models at this time. See if you can get that out. Just push it out and push it out. Yeah, pushed it out. The gate's okay on that. It's a gear stick itself. It did have some colour at one time. Pop that in there. We ain't going to get these seats out, I don't think. All the interior should be black, so we'll black those as well. I'll try and give them a wiggle and a bit of a bend. Whoa! Hey! You probably couldn't see that, but I just saw that back one coming up. see that's sort of out. So we've got that's okay. We're going to be able to spray that. Now there is some good detailing in this Ferrari. I should show you. Now I've done a bit of research. The door cards, like little rivets there on the cards. Should be more of them. That was dotted. I'd say there were 20 or 30 all the way around there on the real car. So that can go there. That's out. That's okay. Let's take a look at this, because this may come off. This may just lift up, come off. There's one. There's one. Just there, look. Just in there. We can see there, this back assembly here, 1, 2, 3 push-ons each side. This side's free and easy. As always, and there's always one, let's face it, there's always one. You don't want to move. Gone. Has that been the key to it? Yes. So we've got the back up. Let's see where the next clips are. Seem to be underneath here. It's just pushed on. Originally, I'm guessing. Try and get a smaller tool in there. Got one of these stick things here. Push it back. I think it might just be clipped under whatever these are. Ha! Got an engine. Got some fuel tanks. Now I don't think Ferrari were painting the headers red in 65. We'll have to find out. Now this is in 2 parts. The engine's coming up there. Let's have a go. Let's have a go. Yeah. Clipped on along here. White bit of plastic joining them. As with this model so far, keep moving your tools around, keep moving the model around, wiggle. And there we go. And then, I think, thank heavens, there's the intakes. Thank heavens Burago didn't glue it together. That'd be a disaster in terms of restoration. And off that comes. That is our model apart, everyone. I won't get all the bits out, but as you can see, there's quite a lot in there. Now the next thing is start looking at the real thing and get some detailing done. Get some, not detailing rather, some sanding. It's got a raised wing line here, both sides. I don't think that should be there. Got some lovely detailing there on the bonnets, and I'll hold it there and zoom in afterwards. You can see the rivets on there. Got the spot for the Ferrari badge. Got the rivets round here and here. Door handles. Well, here we have our Ferrari looking for a bit of filler. Gone off yet? Now I'm trying to do a few models at once here, and that filler's nearly gone off. Working into that roof line just round there. It's quite a new model, so the rest of it is fairly good. All the parts of our car are now out of the oven cleaner. You can see the different colour plastics. I've had a wash in some soapy water, but I'm going to put them in the sonic cleaner. There's so many of them. And there's just a bit of washing up liquid in there. That's on for 3 minutes. Let's get the lid on. There you go. That's on Diecast, and I'll probably give it another 3 minutes after that. Okay, degassing, sonic cleaning's finished. And all I'm going to do is pop these in a bowl that you can see in front, let them dry out. Here is our Ferrari and various parts out of paint. Now, this needs a polish. It's already had a bit of paint damage that I've rectified with some 7,000, 5,000 wet and dry, and then a T-cut. Just move that to the side. There's the door. There's the rear. I'm just going to move those out of the way. I'll stop the video for a second. Right, I've just moved those painted parts to a safe place so they don't get scratched, because I've had to rectify the paint quite a bit on there. It's a big model. Right, now the wheels have been sprayed gold. This base wasn't touched. The exhaust dechromed, painted grey with black pipes. The actual one did have black pipes. What I've got to go by is lots of pictures. Now these were taken from the internet, these pictures. That's why I've only shown you a quick glimpse, don't want to break copyright, of a model made by Amalgam Models. And I'll put the name on the screen. And they do a 1/8 scale one that's about 35,000 Great British pounds. So I've used their model as reference, as well as a few other pictures, because if it's that expensive, I'm guessing they've done a lot of research and got it right. Now the whole of the car interior was black. There is some evidence, because this actual car that won Le Mans was recently sold in 2025, and these seats were grey blue on the inside. They're not in the pictures I've got. They could have been the original seats. I mean, after all, the car is, what, 60 years old now, so it's hard to say. They're the petrol filler caps that come up underneath the rear. I've done the inlets in silver there. I've got these 2 steering wheels. I've got more actually from Scale Customs. Luke at Scale Customs has 3D printed me those, and I don't know if you can see how detailed they are. They're really, really good. That needs to be aluminium on the inside and a wood steering wheel. It was originally a Nardi steering wheel on this car, and I've got these little bonnet straps, boot straps. One's a bit bigger than the other. They should go on the front, they should go on the side or the back, depending what you want to call it. Let's go for the straps first. Now these were not strapped all the way down to about there. It looks solid after that. So I'm going to need 2 coats. Now this real car, actual one that won Le Mans, was sold earlier this year for I think $35 million. It raced at Le Mans. It raced in various other races, Daytona. It's a famous car, big race history. Of course, the Le Mans win is the primary one. That's done. Now let's do steering wheel. Okay, we're off to start doing like a bit of sub-assembly. Just got to keep moving on, otherwise things take forever. So just going to push the seats into here. And they did just click in. There we go. There's obviously less chance of me losing bits. Now I haven't done any seat belts for these, but apparently they just had lap belts anyway, probably like you do when you go on the aeroplane. These little lugs here have to go over these posts. Remember, that was difficult. So, okay, I've got the first one on. Got one of these little micro screwdrivers. Try and prise the post out. There we go. That's the best way. Just prise the post out rather than bend the wheel that way. We're in. Right, let's try and do this rear transmission and engine and etc. together. So the exhausts go under the wheels. There's a channel there for the axle. That goes in there. Let's press that in there. And this has two lugs go in these two holes. Now I did think about building this in the chassis, but as you can see, you've got to be quite firm with your fingers. And this went through the top and held the whole lot together. Get that click. Round. One of them didn't click, or maybe they both did together, I don't know. That looks fine. Now I did end up taking our lights apart. The reason I took them apart was they're damaged. There's a bit of glass missing on there, on the side, there's a bit missing on the front. I don't know if you can see that if I hold it to my hand. So what I'm off to do, because these are tricky, I'm pushed in to the back of the light. So I'm off to file this down, this lug, so it goes in smoothly. We'll have a test fitting before we try and fix them. What I want them to do is go in without any resistance. These are going to be fragile when they're fixed, so I'll keep filing them down. So you might be able to see now the dilemma. Glazing gap there, look, and at the front. And I'm hoping to fill that with some of that Kristal Klear. So got a bit just there, look, on a cocktail stick. Now that's in there, that's on fine. And that's the good lens. Put that down. Now we have a broken one. So the first thing, I've not used this before for this. Some glue around the edges like the other one. See, I've still got the bigger tab on that one. What we've got here are these broken bits, the chips, the end. And the way it suggests you do this to replace glass is just get it round the edges. Try and draw it in, like blowing a bubble in effect. Need a bigger blob to roll the bubble. We do. Now I'm not sure how that's going to look when it's dried. It hasn't got the shape, but I'm guessing you can build up the shape. Okay, we've got our steering wheel back and we just need a blob of yellow in the middle there to represent what would be Ferrari badge. That's fine, we might put a bit of black marker pen in to represent the horse later on, but that's looking a-okay. Looking at our Ferrari, it had a blue line on the tyres around the Goodyear badge. Now, I've had a bit of a practice. I did that yesterday and it's still there with this acrylic marker which marks on anything. Strong covering, sunproof, waterproof, etc. I did spot with a ridge there around the edge. So that's what I'm going to use. And it's a thin line, it's thinner than the pen, so hopefully it's going to be spot on. So we're going to have a go with the first one. Oh, that's going to look good, I think, if I can keep myself rock steady. And that is going to look absolutely spot on. What I'll do is I'll carry on for a few more seconds on camera, just touching the raised part of the tyre. Now I've got 4 more tyres to do off camera. Show you them when I've finished. But I'm really pleased I've spotted that. I can't tell you how pleased I am, because just little bits like that just do lift the model so much. Well, I've got a picture there how my tyres look, and there's the real thing, well, picture of the real thing. I think that's pretty close. I'm really pleased with that. It didn't take that long. Okay, we're going to do a bit of detailing on our body now. First time we've done a bit of detailing on the actual car itself. And it's these little side repeaters, indicators here. They should be orange. What I've decided to do is apply them one of these rather than a brush. I've got plenty of these to scrape away any excess. I think that's the best way forward. Did consider masking them off, but that had a go at that. That didn't seem to want to work, to be honest. So here we go. To be honest, that's not gone bad for the first one. I've been really picky with myself there, saying that. Quite happy with that. Quite happy. Now, another bit of detailing that needs doing is these front spotlights. Choosing to do them in Met 191. I am going to try and use the mini cotton bud, whatever you want to call it, to do that as well. Yeah, that's gone quite well. Okay, we're looking at this sub-assembly. This will only go in one way. That's the way. And then we have to push in the rear lights to come to the back there. I'm going to have to put a spot of glue in there or it'll all fall apart, I think. But yeah, because they're not biting anymore. Well, that one did. You may have heard it. So that's our rear. What I've done off camera is I've just done that stripe. We've got a decal to go on there later. There is our rear done. I did use a bit of that Microseal Klear on the end, so that's okay. Now we can move on to our steering wheel and what I'm sure you'll recognise as a nail. See there, I've made a bit of an effort to put a prancing horse in there, and I've shaved the top of this nail down so it fits exactly on there. So we're just going to super glue that on there. I've chosen this nail, not another one, because it's the thickness of this recess to hold the steering column. So we're not worried about it turning the wheels or anything. We're not going that far. So we just need to put a dab of super glue on there, get it stuck to the steering wheel. Right, here we go. Dab on there. Steering wheel. And that looks like it's going to be okay. Set pretty solid, pretty quick there. Holding it from behind. And that's what I wanted to see. So you could see key-free dials through the wheel. That tells me the wheels are right size. So thank you once again, Luke at Scale Customs. Okay, we've got our main body of the Ferrari, and we've got our rear assembly. Just put a bit of black wash on those inlets. They're a bit too shiny compared to the ones in the picture. So this was a devil to get out. We're only off to get one go at putting it in. I've had a sort of trial fix. We've got some hooks here either side to clip over there. That little bar there clips into there, and the wheels go back into this recess here, just there. So let's have a go. We put it in like that, and that's why we couldn't have the roof on. Push the axles back. Now, got to get those clips in for the exhaust there and there. So we've got to pull that forward. That's forward. That's gone under there. Then just push those wheels forward till they'll spring back into their hold. And there we have it. What we'll do is we'll get one of our tyres on here now. Now I want to try and push it in this way because this is the way they'll all have to go on. There we go, that's quite easy. And that's off to sit on there and be held in by that cage. Now that cage has 4 prongs. 2 of them go in there and the other one's on there, and that's off to hold that in. Now you saw me do the headlights. This one's really good, you can't see the glue. This one was the damaged one, and although you can still see the white, we're about 24 hours on and it is slowly clearing up. So just wanted to show you that for the time lapse later on when hopefully it's fully clear. So we can't put the headlights in yet. What we can do is push the grill in. Push that in a little bit. I'm not sure if it's far enough yet. You can see it there. It looks a bit proud. I'll have to check back on the video to see if it was proud. Now before we put this rear engine cover on, I think we should push these wheels on here. It's a bit more access. You've got to hold the wheel at the back, I seem to remember taking them off. I don't want to go, I can tell you that. There we go. As soon as you say they don't want to go, give in. That one's on. And the other one's on. We haven't broke the axles. Isn't that brilliant? Right, what I've done for this, I've made some little hinge covers just there in the background. I'll put one there if you can see it. And they're going to clip underneath here when this gets on top. So off camera I'm off to try and test fit this to see if I need to put this on first. There's a tab there that goes there. There's two tabs there, go there and there. And there's two posts that go in these holes. So this has to go under there, which it is. Now these, we can push it forward on the posts. Get that in. Tell you what, be polishing a few fingerprints out on this. But that is incorrectly now. Now what we have got to do is put this cradle on. Put our wheel in position. So these tabs have to push under wheels. So it's gone in that side, I've pushed it that side. I can bend the wheel back a bit. Oops. And they're in. Now these tabs, this bar here has to go under there. And then the whole lot gets pushed forward a bit. There. You saw that happen, I hope, because I'm going to retake that video. And then we can push these down. Just lift that bit of tape up. That's the rear assembly done. Now we've got to get this on. Get one go at this really, what I've seen. So I'm pushing it in. I know it'll be in the holders in the right place if I get it to fit. I don't want to take my tape off. There. Now I know it's not flush, but I've got some tape there. And it's sort of almost correct there. Let's take the tape off. Let's hope no paint comes with it. Whoa! That was a scary moment. I was dreading putting that together because it was really difficult to take apart because I didn't know how it worked. But that is on. What I need to do is turn it upside down. First hold it in my hand. I need to push it into these lugs here. Now we've got a bit of super glue. and I've made these brackets I showed you earlier probably to put on there, and there are one goes on one side and one on the other because they are specifically made for each side. They're not quite 100% the same. Right, here we go, securing this engine cover, and I've got to put a bit of glue into there. Check you can see it, and this one goes on like that. Top's got to be free and easy moving. It's my fear here that this glue runs. Try to avoid that. Right, that's a nervy moment. Before I try the other side, I'll let that set. Here we go with the other side. Getting a bit of glue. Chop the end of this cocktail stick because I do want a blob, but I don't want a blob that will run. If that makes sense. Can we move it? It's moving. That's a good thing. Right, I think that's gone well, because as you can see, that's still moving, and it does sit nicely on the body. Now, one thing I've noticed, that rear may be a slightly different shade of red. I had to use 2 tins of this crimson red. Not encountered that problem before. Same primer and everything, so that's unfortunate. But nevertheless, let's press on. Next in is this screen surround. Now this was loose on the model, so we're going to put a bit of glue around it to stick it on, and we're off to use a bit of Gorilla Glue. Okay, if you watch the outtakes, you'll see that the tube of glue, it's all come out the end. Put it into view there. Let's move that to one side. It all went over my hand, so I've now got a glove on. But it does make getting the glue a lot easier. Paranoid now, I've got glue on my hands. Can't see any on there. That doesn't want to stay in position, that screen surround. I'll hold that there and give it a minute or two. Push the surround in at the top and it seems to have sprung, kept it in position. Put some crystal clear around that screen on the inside. What I'm going to do is get the screen in now. The screen's got a locating pin just there. Let's try and get this together now. These 5 need to come through these 5 holes here. They need to come under there. Those 5 need to come under there. This needs to come in to let what I think is a handbrake or the bonnet catch here. Probably the bonnet catch, I think, this one. This lever just don't want to push through there. I think it's got to go in sort of like that. All I needed was just pushing that way and through. So I did that off camera. I don't want to take it out and show you again. After a bit of faffing, I've chopped the steering wheel down. We're not going to see the column come through the car. I wasn't going to steer the car, but I just couldn't get the angle that I wanted. So I'm going to glue it to this little recess you can see here for it. And I'll have to glue it so you can see all the dials like that. That's the next job. That'll be a bit of super glue. There is our steering wheel in place. Got to judge it without it being in the car, which isn't easy, but it's looking okay. I think we can push these tyres on. And these are a bit fragile here, so this you can just see that's what's holding them on. That little bit of like soft plastic, so they will turn direction. So I have to get your fingers behind there and push that last little bit in. That one's on. This one's still proud, you can see that. See, it's all our wheels on. Next up, we've got this gear stick ready now. We can pop that back in there. There we go. Yeah, we've got to get this door in. Now, this other door, you can see it there, had a bit of a lip. This one didn't. Hence it dropped out and got painted separately. So we'll just pop that back in. Hopefully we don't have to create any lip. It's not a bad fit. It's slightly different colour as well. It's got painted separately. We'll pop the door card on the other one. Right, that's in. Now we've got this. There's two pins here go into here. So we should be able to put this in and push it down. Right, just got it on there. Push it in. And that feels okay. And it should be a simple case, if there is such a thing. Putting it into there. All came out in one piece. This front bit don't want to go down. Do we need? Yes, we needed the doors open. Now we can shut them again. And that. Get some screws. Ooh. Didn't think that was biting. Maybe it's best to get the rear ones in first. So I'm wrong-handed there to do this. Oops. And there is our Ferrari back together. Well, this is what we started with. A Burago Ferrari 250 Le Mans 1965 1/24 scale. Tatty, to say the least, paintwork. Wrong colour. Glass caved in at the front there. But a great looking model with loads of potential. So without further ado, let's see how we got on, shall we? Because here it is now. Well, here is our completed Ferrari, and doesn't she look nice? Despite that bit of two-tone paint work. That's down to my inexperience painting 1/24 scales. I'll be a lot wiser next time. Apart from the paint, the main thing that's wrong with the model is those wheels should have been wire wheels to represent the 1965 winning car. Now let's have a bit about the race itself. Only 32 of this car were made, so it had to race in the prototype class. It was a 3.3 litre car, this one, with 320 brake horsepower, 7,500 RPM, with a top speed of 178 mph, depending upon the gearing. In the prototype class, it was down a bit on power to weight ratio, but it had good handling and reliability. This car, chassis number 5893, which won Le Mans in 1965, was the 6th car built and was raced as part of Luigi Cinetti's North American racing team, hence the NART on the Ferrari badges. Ferrari itself had a works team, and Ford had its GT40s entered. This car was driven by Maston Gregory and Jochen Rindt. There was a third driver, Ed Hugas, who was not officially credited with a drive, and the car started in 11th place. In the first 11 hours, the works Ferraris and the Fords dropped out. By 18 hours, 5893 was in second, behind another 250 LM. The other car pitted, and 5893 took the lead and held it, giving a Ferrari a 1-2-3 finish, with two 250 LMs in first and second, and a 275 GTB in third. It was the 6th win in a row for Ferrari, and its last win until 2023. It was also the last V12 Ferrari to win Le Mans. 5893 went on to compete at Daytona 24-hour race in 66, 68 and 70, and it returned to Le Mans in 68, where it did not finish, and in 69, where it finished 8th. From 1970, it was at the Indianapolis Motorway Museum. It won the Concours at Pebble Beach in 2023 for sports cars, and was sold in February 2025 for $36.3 million US, which included fees but not taxes. Well, I do hope you've enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe if you can. I've tried a few new things on this video, mainly that Microseal Klear around the windscreen. I used it to stick those bonnet and boot straps on because it dries so clear you can't see it. Anyway, look after yourselves, take care, and I look forward to seeing you again soon with another restoration. Bye for now. I leave you with the Ferrari 250 Le Mans, chassis number 5893, winner of the 1965 race. Right, those two are in. That's pushed down. I heard it click. I felt it. You may not have done. But that rear is not in right because we've got this proud. Squeeze a bit more out. Well, this is one for the outtakes. Came out the end of the tube all over my hand. Thank God I wasn't near the model when that happened. And there it is. So, quick clean off for that.